Hello.
Hi.
Hi, it's
Hi.
been a while.
It has been a while. Um, it's been such a while. I'm just going to give you a quick production note. Is your face is so close to the cutoff point
Oh no.
on? I just, we have to be professional here at product like it's Friday, and
On a Friday. On a real Friday.
on a real Friday, given that we haven't showed up. Speaking of being professional, we haven't showed up for the last
I don't know how long.
at least 3 weeks. At least I want to say, but maybe more. So explain yourself.
Explain myself.
Explain
Uh,
ourselves.
we don't need to explain
Okay,
ourselves.
yeah, we don't need to. Yeah, we don't answer to you. We
Yeah.
don't answer
Answer to the
to
one viewer.
one viewer. Yeah, we don't answer to you. Get out of here. I mean, no, please stay.
um I've been having second I guess second thought moments, I suppose,
Okay.
a couple times. Um I wouldn't say it's the only reason why I haven't shown up, but it's definitely a part of it. Is like feeling like, oh, I'm gonna be perceived while I struggle. Um, I
Mm.
think it's the combination of struggling and being perceived that that
May I ask some follow?
yeah,
I have some follow-up questions here.
yes.
Well, one note, which is to be fair, not that we have to be fair, but to be fair, we had some
Mm.
work-related trips that occupied certain Fridays, and then there was sickness on certain Fridays, and then yes, there was additional uh, second thoughts, like you said. Now, now, if your concern is being perceived, which I mean, I say that as I doubt it. I don't doubt it, of course. I'm just saying I need an explanation for what you've been doing all this time on a stream. Have you not, have you not been being perceived? What's been like? What's you woke up, you know, just recently, and you're like, oh my god,
It's a
I'm being
constant
perceived.
struggle. It's a constant struggle.
Okay,
My
yeah,
ability to cope with it just changes day to day,
got it,
or like I guess ability to overcome it.
got it.
It's a weakness.
It's a weakness that you're like, okay, historically you've overcome it to perform on stream,
Sure. Yeah.
and but what's different now than
Nothing.
what hasn't been in the past? What has
Hmm.
changed?
Hmm. I mean, obviously, it's the skill issue.
Okay, fair, yeah. So
Skill
you're like,
issue.
hey,
Yeah.
design I'll do on stream, no problem. I'll prompt the AI on stream, no problem. But hand coding is is too much. You're like, we've gone one straw too far. I don't know what the saying is. We've gone one straw too far. I don't think that's what the saying is, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think because I find that like in my learning journey, sometimes I need to take a step back
Mm-hmm.
as well, like take a break from the thing. And like I feel like if I'm being perceived, I might behave differently than, I don't know, than if I'm just messing around
I
in
see.
my
Yeah.
garage
Yeah.
type.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. It is. It's a
But we have
different.
one viewer, so like I
Yeah.
just need
Yeah.
to get over myself.
Okay. All right. So that's the strategy. We're
Yeah.
we're we're going with the get over myself strategy because
Yeah, let's see if it
lack of
helps.
lack of viewership. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Now that we have that out of the way,
All
um,
right.
what are we going to do?
All right. So I think last time we just kind of chatted about who's breakfast.
Hmm.
I don't think we got started anyway. No, I did share some designs.
That's right. I had design. We had design critique.
Yes.
I had a session. We had a design critique session.
Yes, that's what we'll call it. I have since then done a little bit more design-ish work, as well as a little bit of coding. So maybe what should I do first? Maybe I can walk through some of the design things I've done off stream. There's not a lot. I say there's not a lot, but there's one pretty big thing. Let me just. Oh, great.
Here, I got it. Okay, why are we so massive here? Hold on.
All right. So, okay, for some reason, this is the first thing. I guess I'll walk through what I've created in code, if I can. So I created a page, like a home page, where you can either join a game or create a new game. And I will walk through the design in a bit, but the intention is that you land here, you either already know that you're joining a pre-existing game or you're creating a new one. And then this is a placeholder page that right now doesn't have anything on it, but it will eventually list all the games I guess there ever is.
About that, why would it list all the games that ever are? So if I'm creating a game, why would I want other people to be able to? So I guess since I don't see like a user thing here, will it then show me other people's games?
Right now, yes. I mean, okay. right now it does nothing, but maybe let me share my Figma actually, because it might be more relevant right now. So I did not touch the visual design as you critiqued last time. I did not touch it.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay.
Because I wanted to get the UX first, and then think of it as almost like a skinning exercise later, if that makes sense. Sure. I did add a whole bunch of inspo, including ideas from the original show. Because I think, I don't know, I like the style, like the retro like game show vibe. I also liked, because I think you and I partook, is that the right word, in some Jackbox game, and I really liked the interaction of like all the guesses coming in and then like revealing which got the higher vote or whatever. I like that. Yeah, put a bunch of like ideas here. This is a video game that I liked some of the UI for. Same video game where it shows like who, like it's like a battle royale type situation that kind of show who gets qualified. I don't know if any of this is relevant. It's more just like I'm just popping in cool interactions that I enjoyed from other places. This is a table tennis game that I have not played, but I like their UI. It's kind of neat.
A table tennis game?
Yeah, maybe you'd be interested.
I don't know that I would, to be honest.
No?
Well, I mean, it's not the same.
Yeah. I have not played all of the games. Some of them I have played. Like I played the game where this came from. This is Kahoot, which is like a trivia game platform, which I looked at as well, just in terms of like how they lay out just like the more boring controls versus like the things that, you know, the trivia question would show up in the middle and like how to join the game, that kind of thing. But yeah, so there's that board. So let's just maybe just walk through this. So homepage, join a game or create a new game. So what I have here is viewing all game rooms will lead you to like a place where you can either see any ongoing games or see the results of finished games.
Okay.
Maybe there's a world where there's some sort of locking mechanism or like private situation, but I don't want to like. My inkling is that it's too early to think about that.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We don't have to start there. But it is something I want to highlight, which is it makes me like feel a little bit weird. I guess, I mean, it's what the existing version does. But
for it to be shareable,
yeah, for it to be like a shareable thing that we become rich off of, which is my goal. I'm just gonna have to highlight. I'm just gonna have to highlight this feature as a questionable one, but we can start there. Of course, that's not a big deal.
Okay, I'll add a comment to consider. Like, do you think there's value in considering it at this stage?
No. I think we should just focus on getting it done, and then maybe certain things about certain coding aspects or what have you. But yeah, I think for now we just get it done.
Okay. So I simplified it a little bit from the original version in that there's no more like need for creating like a game title, because I find that people are just making something up. So it's really just what's the subject that we're guessing about breakfast. And then from playing the previous version, I find that it can be confusing what question are folks answering. So I thought maybe just write the question, like let the game master or whoever just write whatever the question is. So if it's about last song in your playlist, it can be more of a clear question rather than have it be more open for interpretation.
Sure. Fair. I mean, that just depends on the game creator and the game readers, let's be honest. But okay, fine. I think, yeah, this is a simplification.
So once you enter these two, ignore the generate for me. Then you can invite people to enter responses. So this is like a host view. Okay, my brain. It's been a while since I did this, so I'm like I don't remember what I did. I think my intention was that you can join it two ways, but maybe even that is too much work. But whatever, maybe you will tell me. I'm thinking you can join it as like a code, like a number, like a room pin situation, or it can be included in a copyable message.
Sure.
And then as a player, you enter your name. So you enter your name first, because in original gameplay, we had some issues with people entering their breakfast and then entering their name.
Okay, I see.
And then you enter your breakfast. So this is just whatever question the host entered. And then they get like a empty state / waiting screen. And And then host can see, actually, I guess everyone can see who's answered it. I don't know if we want that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
But the host has kind of the ability to say, continue to the next stage.
Mhm.
Once they've continued to guessing, they can invite. I just made up some numbers here. They can invite more people to guess, and I think it's similar. Yeah, similar flow. Putting your name first, and then you make your guesses. I don't know if this is better or worse, but
Mhm.
I was thinking about like oh, it could be cool if it's like a card situation, but I don't know. Maybe the dragging is better.
What is the card situation?
So having like each card be one response. So I don't know. I don't know if that's like I can see issues with this interface as well. In that like oh like now I have to think about oh like I already selected this person here, then they're not selectable there, and like I don't know. I can see that
Yeah,
being messy, but
it's not that. I mean, it's not that big a deal. But yeah, I mean, it would. Yeah, it's a little bit more, slightly more involved than the drag and drop situation. But this takes up less space. It seems, So there's pros and cons.
yeah, there's a reason why I reject this, and it kind of comes later. So maybe it's not worth it, but for now, it's kind of what I've landed at is just having like a drop down for each like player that submitted something.
Mhm.
And once you've submitted everything, similarly, there's another like just waiting phase. And then the host can say continue to results, some messaging around what that would do. Oh, I guess through all of this, I want to simplify it for the host as well, in that like usually it's a linear process, but if you have to go back, maybe then you can use more advanced controls to
Right.
like change the stage or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, you can, I guess, copy the same thing. It's really the same stuff. It's just at different stages, but anyone can spectate and view results. And when you view results, it will first start with like a summary of like here are the people that answered the questions, like what the question was, and here are all the people that made guesses. And this is where I think the biggest change from the current version is, which is like the reveal part. I wanted it to. So right now, what does it do right now? I'm trying to think. Right now, it goes like person by person. Like here is Adnan's guesses, like all of Adnan's guesses. Adnan got 3 out of 5 correct. But you don't like. It's hard to see like what you got correct, and it's I don't know. Like I thought that's not the most interesting part of the experience, and I wondered. I think like we talked briefly about like the reveal being like the game, really. And I thought about like, oh, like are there ways we can make the reveal more engaging? And by playing Jackbox, I thought maybe we can take a look at each like response. So like who put down scrambled eggs with toast, and like put down like here are all the guesses. This is a little unclear what this means.
Sure.
But taking like basically what I really want is something like this, in that like here is somebody guessed Mary, and here are all the people that guessed Mary.
Got it.
Type of interface. For now, they are just ugly cards. So here's basically like there are 3 guesses, and the distribution of all the people that guessed all these people. And my hypothesis is that at this point, like people are pretty invested in like, oh, it's like, oh, like I'm in the majority group, I must be correct, or whatever. And then when you reveal, it kind of tell you what the real answer is. Probably scope creep, some point system relating to like if you among like 4 different people that guessed it correctly, maybe you get double points or something. I don't know.
Sorry, how do you get double points?
For being the fastest at guessing correctly. So in this example, 4 people guessed correctly, but only 1 person was the fastest. So everyone else gets 1 point. I was watching Stranger Things. 11 gets 2 points.
How would you know who's the fastest, though? If you look at the card UI, for example, it's if I like how do we like electrolyte water, for example, who's the fastest?
True. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, something to think about.
Okay, we should probably just take that out of scope. My only problem with like not having any additional point situation is like how to deal with tiebreakers.
Yeah, something we can figure out.
But yeah, I guess we can figure that out afterwards.
Yeah.
Another thought was like, oh, if you are the only person that guessed correctly, maybe there's something you get as well.
Okay, well, yeah, that's easier to determine. Yeah, I guess my feedback would be like for you to think through the fuller part of ideas like this is like, okay, well, I'm going to award points for this. Well, how do we determine it? Because it's not just about scope creep necessarily. It's also about scope creep complexity.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the single person, easy to do, very simple.
Okay. And then once all the responses are through, then there's the leaderboard and answers. I think is more similar to, I guess, current. So that's design.
I think I might have asked this the last time, but I have forgotten why a mobile design.
No reason. No reason in particular.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's fine.
I think because it's such a short interaction, I wanted it to be mobile capable, I guess.
Got it. Okay, yeah, that's fine either way. Okay, maybe walk us through the code, what you have, how you got there, etc., etc.
Okay. What do I have? Because it's been a while, I asked AI for a summary of what I did because I don't remember what I did.
Okay. And just to reiterate AI rules.
Yes.
For the one person watching, you can ask AI questions but you can't ask AI to do a thing for you. And then, but maybe at some point we'll unlock AI autocomplete, maybe.
Oh, like, yeah. How do I?
Wait, have you been using it, Mary? Completion mode. Oh yeah, we got to turn that off.
This one?
Turn that off. Yes.
There's so many like different settings. I don't even know what's
Okay.
what. Is there others? Okay, whatever. I guess we'll
Well,
see.
let's see. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we can't ask AI to do things for us, and then B is we have to, maybe we can unlock autocomplete. We'll decide, to be decided, after we have a certain level of proficiency under our belt.
Okay, so what I have is mostly just, I think, structure. So I have my homepage, which is what I showed on Chrome. I guess we don't need this because I read it and I think I know what I did. So there's one section that's like join a game. There's a divider that took me longer than I like to admit.
Okay. Okay, yeah, the or. Okay, cool.
And then a create a game section and like that footer that currently goes nowhere. What I have done is like generating a random ID, like a 6-digit ID.
Okay.
And then creating a game. That's, I think, I don't think, yeah, no, creating a game ID, I suppose. That, and then like pointing to that game room, quote unquote. There's nothing in those pages. Let me just see what that looks like. So host, I guess host view of the game. And then player view of the game, which is mostly empty. And I did create a game footer component, which just says what the room pin is. And I don't think none of this work, but I just, I hard coded what stage it is to see if it shows up.
Okay, yeah.
And then what else? I created a nav component that's kind of used on all the pages.
Okay.
I think that's it.
And have you been committing? Like, are you in a repo? Have you been committing? You have been.
Have I been? I have been, yes.
Yeah, okay, got it. So we have been committing. Okay, cool. What we might do at some point is maybe even share the code on GitHub. I don't know if we want to do that publicly, but I'm happy to create like a private repo on GitHub and where we can push the code to. But for now, it can just unless you already have you created a GitHub repo for this?
I think I have.
Oh, you have. Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
So it's public, or unless I don't know if you pay. Maybe you pay for GitHub. I don't know.
I'll check.
No, I will check.
Oh, you will check?
No, I'm kidding. Let's see.
See, I don't know what I do.
So I'm
also on a new device, and everything is locked out, and I'm just like, oh god.
So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to the Cocoon repo. And then from there, I'm going to your user. So your profile page. And then I'm clicking on repositories. Oh, no. So, okay. So maybe you are like, so yeah, you don't have any it says no, does not have any public repositories. So you must have created a private one then.
Yes.
So you
okay, what do you want me to do?
So you are a pro GitHub user. No, we don't have to do anything.
Do you want me to invite you?
No. You know what?
For your how many percent did you want?
I think I negotiated a good amount. Listen, if like the goal is to become filthy rich, Okay, so
How are you
where
gonna do that without being in the GitHub project?
that's not a concern. Not a concern. Okay, so what's next?
What's next? So I guess like to demonstrate what works and what doesn't. What did you have for breakfast today? It creates the. I don't know if I can technically say it creates the game, but it creates a pin. It goes to the page. I don't think this works. No, it doesn't. And then, and I think you can technically join this as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think that's what's next. To me, it's like actually creating a new game.
What does that mean, actually?
like having it stored somewhere, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
So that it can be fetched later.
Right. And what are your recommendations on how to store the game data?
I don't know. Like I have thoughts around like what's in the game object.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. I would have to like do research to figure out like where to store it or like.
Well, you have made apps before that have stored things, so there are certain options available to you. Do you remember, like, what's the where does the current Who's Breakfast store this stuff?
Neon, I think, is what I used.
Yes.
Let me see. Oh, for styling, I also did copy other things I made.
Wow.
A lot of copying.
Wow. Okay. All right. So, but when you say
SQL?
neon is something. Neon is like, you don't just store stuff in neon, for example. Neon. Do you know what neon is? I'm looking for a specific keyword here.
Not really. It's database something.
Yeah, it's a database, but I'm looking for something more specific.
like a. No, I'm just gonna make a fool of myself.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please. That's what it's called learning. Welcome.
Like a server.
So it's a database server, yes, but you've become generic, not specific.
Oh, okay.
Right? Server is a very generic term. Are you currently browsing the Neon website?
No, I'm not. I'm actually
here.
not. I'm looking at.
Let's do that.
Previous...
Let's go on the Neon website.
Oh, if I just search Neon, I don't think it will.
And maybe here you'll see a clue as to maybe what specificity that I may have been looking for. I'll give you another. You don't have to scroll down to find it on the page. So if you just scroll all the way to the top.
Postgres?
Yes. So the database that Neon uses is Postgres, right? We can go through some other options here. Another option for you is, and you can go on the web here, Supabase, if you've heard about it.
I have heard about it.
SUPA base. And this is another Postgres-based database platform. That provides you, maybe Neon does as well, I'm not sure. So Neon for certain has auto scaling, has auth. So Neon does authentication and some other things we don't necessarily have to use all of these, but Supabase does something similar where it will. I have not used Neon or Supabase, so I'm just familiar based on what I've gleaned through just scrolling. And so, and both of these, I believe, have a free layer where you can store data and do things. Alternatively, you don't have to use Postgres. You can use, you don't have to use a external database. You can use Postgres installed on your own machine. And that would perhaps be my preferred thing. It's slightly more complex because it's nice to have somebody else take care of it for you. But at the same time, it's nice to have it locally and not be dependent on an external service. So that's what I would prefer.
Is that just this?
Yeah. You download it, you install it, you run it. It will start up when you start up your machine, and then it'll just be available for you to use. Now, I don't know what machine you're on specifically, but it may conflict with certain work installs. But if you're on a machine that doesn't have any other things or apps on it, then it's fine to install. I do want to present another option that I don't think we ought to use at this stage, but maybe some other point, is Firebase, if you've heard of it, which is provided by Google. So it's not Postgres based. So Neon is Postgres based, Supabase is Postgres based, but Firebase is just a database system of its own, and has some quirks and nuances. One of them, for example, being that, and again, I haven't kept up, but this is from years ago, so I did use Firebase for a bit. One thing Firebase does is, for example, if you kind of connect a bunch of different front ends to Firebase with certain options, then when you update the game object, all your clients that are connected to it get a notification that the game is updated, and they auto update. They pull that data, the updated data, and then they display it. So what you manually might have to do with something like WebSockets, Firebase kind of does that built in a way. But I just want to present it. I don't think we should use it just yet, but maybe for a future project, I wanted to make you aware that that it is here. But yeah, I would say for now, let's install. Well, no, you have one more option.
Okay.
Which I don't know if people use it at all anymore. It's MongoDB. And I might even recommend it for funsies. So one thing about Firebase is a schema-less database, which means, so with Postgres, you actually have to concretely design a table that has columns and then types, etc. With Firebase, you're just throwing data at it, and it will adjust to store the data that you put in there. MongoDB does something similar, and it makes so people will, disparage the use of MongoDB. I've used it historically for personal projects because I think not having to think about the data structure and sort of being fluid early on is helpful. And so, yeah, go ahead and click on like the first result, the MongoDB online cloud. I don't know why it's bringing you into. I thought it was open source. Oh, because I guess we clicked on the ad.
Yeah.
But if you click on the regular one, the first thing I'm doing is kind of clicking on pricing. So MongoDB Atlas, it seems like, is an online version, which is interesting here. I would have. Okay, great. So if you click on products up top, oh yeah, but you have it here as well, which is Community Edition. I'm assuming that's the one that you can download to your computer, and it is different. It is, it's not the same for sure, but maybe for now, let's start with downloading both and installing both, and we might even have a quick play component. I'm thinking MongoDB because it might just be easier to think about the model without having to. Postgres is very structured, which means once you create a table, if you need to make any changes, then you have to create extra files that make those changes. Whereas with MongoDB, you could just change your data model and just it'll store it. So I would say we do that. I do have to take a washroom break, either fortunately or unfortunately, but maybe you can use this opportunity to install both Postgres and MongoDB, and I'll be back as soon as I can.
Okay. I'll be downloading stuff. So, just downloading this. I'm on a new device. What? Okay, I'm downloading Postgres right now. That means installing. I'm just not sharing my screen. I think I installed Postgres. Not sure how to check. And then, so I downloaded this, and there is a folder. Maybe I'll share my screen. Let's add my window, which is where? What is this? Downloads. Okay, so this is my downloads folder. And this is what I've gotten when I click download. Does anyone read readmes nowadays? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Wait, is this a reading issue? Hold on. Let's see. I'm not reading. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is. Is this the same thing? Oh no, okay. Should I try this? Okay, so let's go.
Is it done yet?
I think almost. Need to do like.
You have to create an account?
I think so.
Really? To install the local version?
Yeah, I think so. I have like a. So in my terminal, like when I ran this, it gives me a one-time verification code. And
So what did you run?
this.
When you say this, I'm not able to see it.
Sorry. Oh, you can't see where my cursor is?
So I think this is no, I'm unable to see the cursor.
The two commands.
Yeah, when it says give it a try with highly available or get started from your terminal with the following two commands. This is a trap, right? So what they're doing is MongoDB Atlas is their cloud offering. So if you see up there, it says the database is also offered as this. So this is their attempt precisely to do what happened here, which is try and get you on Atlas.
I see.
But what you want to do is download.
Okay, I did download, but I don't know what to do with it. So I have this here.
Yeah, double click on it. It will then okay. So it opens up as a thing here, and then let's see this README. Interesting. Okay, we could try a few things here.
Do you want to read the README?
I am reading the README on my machine. Okay, so it seems like what they've done is they made it slightly ambiguous running running MongoDB locally. Not a huge deal. Let me take a look at a few other things. And so if you go back to their page where they say, hey, yeah, so it says brew install MongoDB -atlas. There may be other brew packages that we can install that manage it for us. So let's do a quick search on Google for exactly like MongoDB brew. Yeah, let's. There's a few links there we probably want to open in separate tabs. The first one, the official one, and then the third one. And let's look at the third one first. Because it's a MongoDB page, it may also lead us astray. So, but let's quickly see if it doesn't. So it says install Xcode command line tools, install Homebrew, which I'm assuming you already have Homebrew installed.
I think so.
Because when you had previously run the MongoDB Atlas thing. Okay, great.
Yes.
So here, go ahead and run brew tap MongoDB brew. And what this is doing is it's adding the MongoDB installation as an option in your brew install. So that's what a tap is. It's like it's more packages available to you.
Okay.
And and then now, are you able to share your terminal screen?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, do me a favor here if you can make this larger both in text size and window size. Thank you. Now do a brew space search space MongoDB. And what we're looking for here is because down below it says like brew install MongoDB community 7. So it is here. So I can see like MongoDB /brew /MongoDB community @7 is available. @8 is also available. I'm not sure which one, but let's just go with whatever the docs are saying here. I don't think it's a big deal which one we end up doing. I would recommend copy pasting. So here's some pro tips. One, you've kind of learned about brew search that allows you to search for packages to see. It's what I had run on my own machine to see if there was a community edition by default. There wasn't a community edition by default, which is why we Googled it. So brew search. The second one is, and devs miss this a lot because for whatever reason, as we get more and more confident in ourselves, we think we're beyond reading what's on the screen. So highly recommend whenever you're installing anything using brew to scan what's on the screen. So if we scroll down, here. People rarely read the caveats, the summary, etc., etc. So let's make sure that we read it here. So it says to start MongoDB now and restart it, login, run this. So Bruce, so what might happen is, because it's telling you, hey, to start it now and to restart it, login, run this command. What may happen is if you don't run it, then it hasn't started, and then it won't start when you restart your machine. And then you'll be like, hey, it's not working. But really, we haven't read the docs. So I think that's the only major thing. So go ahead and copy that line.
So I need to restart my machine? Is that?
No. When you run this, it will register MongoDB community in Bruce services, and Bruce services will start it the next time you start your machine. And it'll start it now, and then it will restart it.
I see. Okay.
At login. So yeah, go ahead and run that. Okay, great. Here I'm going to offer you, let's test out using the command line whether MongoDB has started up and is working properly. So if you go to your AI in your Windsurf,
yep,
and ask it how to use MongoDB from the command line. And then maybe, well, let's see what it says. Let's see what it says. Okay, so it's informed us of Mongo SH, which is a Mongo shell. What you can do is you can open up a new terminal right in your Windsurf here, and we can actually just use this to play around with the commands that are being shown here. So let's just do Mongo SH directly. And presumably this will start up the Mongo shell. And let's make the terminal larger, please. Yeah, and let's just scan what it's saying here. It's saying connecting to MongoDB 127.0.0.1. Are you familiar with what 127.0.0.1
Nope.
represents? Okay, yeah.
What does it represent? You make it sound like everyone should know.
Yeah, everyone should know at some point. Okay. All developers should know. Like all web developers should know what 127.0. Do you know what localhost represents?
Like your computer?
Yeah. So if you see, for example, in where it says like connect to local MongoDB in your AI results, the second line, the first option is Mongo SH without any additional arguments. The second one is Mongo SH with a like a MongoDB : / Do you see that? And it says localhost. And additionally, it's on a port 270.17, and then / your database, which connects to a specific database. And then the one below that is like connecting to some cluster at mongodb.net with a username and password. And so localhost is your machine. It's represented by many different IPs. 0.0.0.0 is one representation of localhost used for some specific cases, which we don't have to get into now, but 127.0 .0.1 is also localhost. So they're the same thing.
Oh, okay.
But it's localhost is sort of the name representation, like a domain name.
Mhm.
So all domain names map to IP addresses, right? And so in this case, localhost maps to 127.0.0.1. So that's the IP address for localhost. Okay, maybe let's continue with some of the things it's asking you to do here. So show all databases. So go ahead and do show DBS.
Would it do that here?
Yeah, in the MongoDB shell. Yeah. If you see number 2, it says common Mongo sh commands once connected. And so that says connected. And here it says there's an admin database, there's a config database, and there's a local database. Typically, when you we wouldn't use any one of these. We'd want to create our own database. But typically, when in the Mongo shell, when you want to use a database, you would type in use space the database name, like it says here. But in this case, you should ask it how you could create your own database. And what we're really doing here is getting you familiar with MongoDB broadly, right? And so it says here, don't worry about it. It says, right?
So I just do this.
Sorry, I can't see your.
Oh yeah, you can't see. Right. Like, do I just wait?
Maybe you can highlight it.
It says create it if it doesn't exist. That's kind of
Yeah. So do use and then space a database name.
Okay.
So you could say use space testdb for now. So it says switch to DB testdb. Now maybe type in show DBs. So let's test out whether, like, so we don't see anything here. Did it lie? Did it not lie? So do you have a mental model forming in your head? Because I have a mental model forming in my head of what's might be happening here. Do you have a mental model at this point?
I mean, it wasn't created, right? Like, I'm guessing that you can only do use with anything that exists.
Like, so that's not my mental model. But we already did use with something that didn't exist. So so you formed a mental model that contradicts what you just did. No? Right? Because we just did use testdb. Use testdb did not exist, and it didn't give us an error. In fact, it said switch to db testdb. So allow me to share what my model is. Also, we could have gotten it from reading the full thing here, but it's also interesting to play around with what the mental model might be. So once we did show DBs, my mental model would have been, hey, I expect to see show DBs, a test DB in the list. When we didn't see it in the list, my mental model switched to, we probably need to insert something into a table, quote unquote. I put table in quote unquotes because in MongoDB they're called collections, and collections have documents. So now go ahead and do something like db.users in the shell, and then and maybe you could just even copy, or you could type out insert one, and then you're gonna type in or copy paste whichever that
gonna copy
name first document business, and go ahead and press enter. So now we're getting an acknowledged true. We're getting an inserted ID. So the ID of the thing that was inserted, yeah. And that should be your next instinct, correct? So the mental model changed to, it probably registers, like when you say use name, it changes the context of the shell to be that database, but hasn't created it yet because there's nothing stored in it. Now it could have created it. So in Postgres, when you there's a command you run to explicitly create a database. There's a command you run explicitly to create a table, and then it has the columns. And the reason why I suggested MongoDB here is, both the databases have learning curves, of course. Professionally, people may suggest Postgres, but we're just kind of building for ourselves here. And this is simpler because we didn't have to create a name column, you notice. We just said, hey, db.users, so in a collection called users, dump this JSON object, and it just did it, right? It didn't worry about naming it or whatever. Now go ahead and press up again, please. And then here, and then here, kind of go back and add another field. So where it says name first document, you can keep that. And then let's add a comma after the first document string. And then there's name, and then there might be another field called password. Go ahead and add password, and then just add whatever string, and then maybe do something like age, and then add a number.
Would they be? Oh shit! What did I do?
Yeah, what did you do? Why did you do that?
I don't know what I did. Okay.
That's fine. You can just complete the document. Okay, let's. And so now I just stored it. It didn't, with Postgres, we would have had to create an age column and a password column. There's pros and cons to doing both. But when we're kind of play building, this is a very nice thing because, let's say later in the code you change age to, or you change age to the name of the column changes. In Postgres, you have to delete the column or rename the column or whatever. In MongoDB, you don't care. You could just dump data. It'll accept whatever you give it. Okay, let's ask the AI how I can see the. Let's use a relational database language. How can we see the rows in a collection? So rows is not the right term. The right term is documents, but let's ask it rows.
So collection is
a table.
Okay.
Yeah. And a document is kind of like a row.
Okay.
The difference between, by default, a document is you can have nested documents. Look at the last line, which is very copy pastable. So one, we learned about show DBs, which is great. Let's do show collections, and this will show us all the collections in the database context that we're in, which is just the one thing we created. And then go ahead and copy paste that last line. Use db.users.find.pretty, which I assume is like a nice, I assume it'll format it nicely.
Cool.
Okay, so here it's showing us the ID and the name, and so the data we dumped in there, it's just showing it to us. If you scroll up, in the AI bit, there's a few things we can learn here. I'll go ahead and do the find without the pretty. I'm actually curious what it will show. It looks
the same.
like the same thing. So I don't know what we were.
Pretty was unnecessary.
it might be pretty printing by default here, which is fine. Like, okay, no worries. You can see some other options. We don't have to try them, but you can see like dot limit.
Count.
So only give me X number, for example, count documents, and then there's find. So if you wanted to find, so with SQL, SQL is the language you use to query most SQL-based databases like Postgres, MySQL, etc. With MongoDB, there might be like some SQL add-on to it, but by default, it uses what is in effect JavaScript here, right? We're just saying dot find, and we pass it these options. And if you wanted to do score greater than or age greater than, you would do this kind of $ business. So this is the querying language for MongoDB. It is different than
Wait, so for example, how would I get... Oh wait, I didn't type it right.
No, I didn't say anything. I was just gonna let you keep going.
What does this mean? Do you know? I mean, of course you know.
I don't know what you're highlighting.
The $ GT50.
What do you assume it means?
I don't know. some math comparison thing.
Yeah, but we're gonna challenge you a little bit here. You should be able to derive this with no knowledge, in fact, or very little knowledge.
Greater than.
Yeah. So the $ is almost irrelevant because, like, if I came across this, I wouldn't question it. I would just try it. Because to me, it's just a way of saying greater than. Like, I can't say greater than in English because, or like without, like, it seems like the $ is sort of like special comparator, right? Like, so yeah.
Oh, so many squigglies.
And know that this is just a JavaScript object. It's not some special thing. It's literally just a regular JavaScript object. And now your array only contains the one that matched. So now our mental model should say, oh, there's GT. Let's try out LT.
LT, yeah.
And now we should expect no results. Okay, cool. There's one more that I would want to try out, which is EQ, maybe. So $EQ, and let's do 50. Yeah. Oh, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong here because my other mental model says, well, why can't I just pass in 50 to age directly? So let's try both.
Oops. I keep pressing.
Yeah, you keep pressing a thing that deletes everything. Yeah.
It's the arrow down. I don't know why. Whatever. Now I know.
So you did ET, not EQ.
Oh, oops.
Not sure what ET would be. Okay, let's try 50.
Oh yeah, I need to do 50.
Okay, that works. Let's try one more thing because in my mental model, we don't need EQ at all. So let's get rid of the internal hash completely and pass 50 directly into age.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this there?
Okay, so both of them work, it turns out. So that's something which, maybe we can leave as homework for now, which is there might be some other things like GT, LT, there might be some other ones that might be relevant, but we have maybe the key ones that we might use. So there's a few things here that are important to know. Additionally is, we probably wouldn't be using something like show specific fields. For now, we just grab all of them whenever. Sorting is interesting to know, right? So if we're getting data back, how are we sorting it? So I guess you could pass in 1 or -1. And then finding one document, super important. So finding document by its ID, right? Or like we said, if for now you should start thinking about, hey, what does my game look like in a JSON object? What does my game object look like? And so ID underscore ID will be provided by the database. It'll be auto-generated, but we'll have our own code as well. So it's like, okay, well, I'll have a code. I'll need to find by code, right? So because that's what's in the URL is the code, and the code needs to be unique, right? So we need to make sure that we're not entering in a code that's so things like that, which we'll have to consider very soon. But yeah, I mean, this is very similar to SQL, but it's using pure JavaScript in this case. Okay, so there are a few concerns that we have to resolve before we could get database stuff in there. We might not be able to do it in the time that we have left, but maybe I can bother you. So I'm going to ask you some questions that you do not know the answers to. I will continue to do this in the whole series.
Okay.
Part of that is for you to think and struggle about it, even when you don't know. So sometimes you will know the answer, like the GT thing. It's like, if you just give it a little bit of thought, you will get it. I'll be asking other questions for which the answers you will not know. And that's also, it's a learning technique. It just turns out that, when you use your brain to try and figure out an answer, and then you're given the answer, it's nicer, it turns out. I don't know. Maybe that's a lie. It's what I've read, okay? That's why I'm using a technique. All right.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready to struggle.
Okay. So how do we call MongoDB from our code currently?
How do we call it?
Yeah, like now when you create a game, we have to create a game object. So how do we, like, where does the code go?
Where does the code go?
See, yeah, I don't expect you to know the answer to this at all. You could take some guesses.
Okay.
It's okay to, it's okay to take some wrong guesses.
Well, like on the high level, I'm assuming that like as a part of generating the game, we need to like have all the little pieces like the subject and the question and the ID and whatever else, the game ID, I guess.
Sure.
And like send it to MongoDB.
Yeah, how would we send it? How would we send it to
know.
MongoDB? That's the question. Take a bad guess. Take a bad guess.
How would we send it?
Yeah.
Through an API question mark?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a little bit more. Okay, but sending it through an API, what does that mean? What would that look like? Here, like. Write some code that might represent calling this API. It's pseudocode, it's fake, but just, give it a shot. It's fine. You're going to be wrong. I can tell you now. If you're right, then we switch places. I swear. If you get this in one shot, Mary, we switch spots. Okay? So don't worry. I expect you not to get it right. So
like, are you saying like what should happen logically?
sure. I mean, you said, hey, we're gonna call some API. Okay, well, we don't do that in words, we do it in code. So I'm like, okay, type in the code that you feel seems like calling this API to store the data that you want to store.
I don't know, like
Yeah, keep going.
games.
Sure.
Like if that's the table.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, some sort of push. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. But you
Like
can do better.
um
Think about why I would say that. Why would I say something like you could do better than this? By the way, even though none of this will work, right? Like even when you get it right, it won't work. Okay?
like
But no, you could do better than this. And later when I offer you what that better is, either you might be able to determine by yourself, but if you're not, I'll offer you what that better is. But in the future, I want you to make that connection yourself. You know what I mean? Or as much as you can. You'll. I mean, over time, I would like you to constantly turn your brain into whatever helps you make that connection yourself. Like be aware that it's a connection that you're expected to make as a even as a mediocre developer.
okay.
So why would I say you can do better? You think?
Well, the object, it's I guess one it's not clear what's in the object.
Yeah. Yeah, there are actually many places in this line you could do better. Object is one of them, 100%. So let's fix this object business right now as a starting point. What would object be?
It should include the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not entirely sure how to. I don't remember how to.
Yeah. How to create an object?
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. So I guess I'm going to tell you this, and then you're going to be like, oh, you're going to recognize that you should have seen it. Okay. One is, why would you say dot push? Where's that coming from? In our session today, did you at any point push data into MongoDB?
No.
Answer
No.
the question. You did. You did. Did we push data into MongoDB?
This,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right? So you got to hold on to that. You see what I mean? Like, why would you do insert one on the MongoDB thing, and then when asked how to do it in the code, invent push? You know what I mean? This is actually it's actually a major learning. Like if you can get through that gap, it's a major learning breakthrough, right? Like being able to, as you go, make those connections, even though this is not right. This won't work, but you can't let go of that. You know what I mean? Like you can. It'll just take you longer to learn. You'll be more frustrated as you go. There's no reason to invent things. When I'm asking a question like that, even though you don't know the answer, I purposely asked this one because we went through and we inserted stuff into the database. So my expectation here would have been for you to scroll up in the terminal to make, like, you don't have to memorize it. You just have to know that you did it. You have to have a sense, oh, I've done something like this. Let me scroll up. Now, let's say you don't know how to create an object, which we'll learn in a second. But in the space where we did the MongoDB insertions, we did not create an object variable. So go ahead and maybe change, what you see here into what you think should go in here. Again, it's okay to be wrong.
Should it should it just be that?
Sure, that's a start. Although there's a number of things that aren't quite right here. So maybe just let's just take a pause. Go ahead and complete it. Go ahead and complete it. So I think you want to add more things here, right? Like, so go ahead and complete. All right, you want to add the subject and the.
Would this just make these things moot, or?
Yeah, potentially. But go ahead and assume that they're stored in some variable and just use the variable names for now. That's fine. And so, I mean, there's something fundamentally incorrect with this line. Yeah. Okay. So one, you've done this twice, by the way. So this is the kind of feedback that I would offer in a typical session like this, which is you made a similar error before it's just not in your heart. Like it just says objects aren't in your heart. Like they're not, because you remember that you had done it on the MongoDB command line as well, where you kind of did like a find and then you typed in the key without creating the object first, and then similar something here. So I just want to point that out, that because of that, there's a mental model gap in your heart that says, okay, but now like it depends on what the function is expecting, and always, if it's an object, it needs braces. Like it needs to have those squiggly braces, right? So let's do a few things. Let's close the gap in creating an object on the in code. So if you go on line 27, and if you type in const space, so we're going to define a game object. So go ahead and type in game space equals. And now if I ask you to create an object, you would do what? The first thing that should now be in your heart when you create an object is braces. The first thing is like, I need an object, I need braces. Great. Now create the rest of the object. We already have. You've already done it, right? So go ahead and create the object in terms of what data should go in here. Yep.
Wait, is there a difference between? No, that's no point knowing.
Yeah. So there should be very little guessing. Like you've done this exact thing on what's now line 31. So there should be no guessing at this. It should just be eventually this should be automatic. Like you should know this like the back of your hand. Okay, good. And now let's use this game object that we created in our pseudo code where we're creating. Okay. So just to recap, we've closed a few things here. So your instinct was, I'm going to do let's do like MongoDB, for example. I'm not harping on that here because we don't even have that concept. So that's a pseudocode gap we're taking. .games is great because we did .users in the thing in here. .games is that concept transferred. The push thing, right? You gotta be like, you gotta know in your heart, I did something like this already. So that, but you could have also gone to Google at this stage, right? Just because I asked the question doesn't mean you need to, but not necessary, right? I didn't offer Google as a thing because also we don't have to go to Google. We did it. So it's actually better to connect what you've already done and discover the answer there than to go to Google and now have like a more widespread potentiality of answers. And then you had typed in object, and now we've created that object, right? So just as a recap of what we went through here. Okay, but this still won't quite work for a few reasons. One is anything that is .view. Any file that's .view is going to be run in the browser. The browser does not have a direct connection to the database, which means we need a server-side component to our app that gets stored, right? Like not gets stored, but that will have a connection to the database and can store it for us. So ultimately, we would not be calling MongoDB directly here, but some code like this we would be calling on the server side. So let's leave you with 2 homework points, if I may. One of them is to see what a server side, like Google or read the Nuxt docs, so you could see how you can engage a server. Nuxt provides a server side, so we don't have to necessarily spin up a different node server. So learn about kind of what server side type things you can do with Node. And then B is also learn how to connect MongoDB in the server side business, right? So actually having the real MongoDB code there and what you would need to do to get that code in there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then presumably ultimately here we would call our backend, our server-side backend, and then it would do the job of storing it in the database for us. Cool. How was that? How was that as a session? How did it go in terms of being?
Oh, I'm learning.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
One person perceived us.
Yeah. And just as a pattern, that's the kind of feedback that you can expect, or the push you can expect from me. I will be asking you questions that you do not know the answers to. Some of them you should be able to derive. Some of them you won't know at all. Some of them you maybe can Google. But a lot of times I will be asking you to do things that you've already done in a different context. In order to be a good developer, you have to get better at making those connections. Because it gets you closer to the answer. Even if this didn't work, insert 1 is a much better guess. You don't have to guess. Actually, you don't even have to guess. So that's sort of something to be aware of over time. But yeah, those are the kinds of things that you can expect from me in these type of sessions.
How was that for you? I promised excruciating.
No, no, it was fine.
Damn, so I did not deliver.
You wanted what? You wanted to be. I've done this before with a number, so I have a basic idea of what to expect, and I will be very particular times. Like, for example, I'm noticing every mistake you're making. Remember, because I was like, hey, remember on this command line, you did not put that brace. I don't know if you remembered that. I took note of it. I didn't say it immediately then, but I'm like, hey. So as someone who's sort of trying to teach, let's just say, I'm noticing all the mistakes you're making, and I will let you make them and try and make sense of things, and then be like, okay, well, here it is. I'm taking note of patterns. I need to be able to see what's in your heart and what's not in your heart, or what mental models, right? I have to be like, hey, Mary's mental model does not include braces for whatever she's typing, whatever she thinks she's typing. So that concept isn't so now, okay, that's something we can work on. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to be observing. I'm just going to be perceiving all those things and make those perceptions available to you again. I'm going to be like, hey, remember if you make this mistake again, guaranteed you can hear from me. Hey, in the previous session, there were 2 places where you didn't, so it means we need to work on understanding what an object is and what the syntax is. The syntax is not in your heart. It's kind of it's like learning a language. So.
Yeah, cool. No, this is good.
Yeah.
I I definitely feel like I want to work on it more.
Right.
So that's good.
It really, honestly, I know we have to go in a few minutes, but I'll just say this is like, there's a magic to it when you're like, like there's a magic to the rawness of it, which I don't think you do get when you use AI. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What is this?
Speech.
Okay, which you do get when you're using AI, right? Like, because you do that, you go on Replit, you say it, and it's kind of storing the stuff for you, and it's doing all this for you. But I think there's a like for me, I remember like learning to code and going through like learning the syntax and learning this other types of databases. Oh, let me play around with MongoDB. Let me play around with whatever else. And I feel like there's a certain magic to that. There's a certain magic to being able to write some HTML code, have an input, write server-side code, connect the two, write database code, and have that work through the chain by hand. I don't know. I feel like that magic is still there. I feel like when I observe it, I'm like, okay, that's still like, to me, every time that's magical. And part of my fear is like AI is kind of is taking that away to be like, well, this is which is fine. It's a progression of that. But it's just
like coding as art almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, like here's how you glue these pieces together. It's like putting Lego together, right? Versus getting a pre-built
I was
Lego
thinking
thing.
about that. I was thinking about that analogy of like it's like getting like the box of Lego with like whatever you want to make versus like following the instructions, or not even following the instructions. Just
it's literally an instruction in like the Lego building itself. It's a different game. Do more with it. You don't have to know. You have to learn all the Lego pieces, and you don't have to go searching for these pieces. That's a different kind of magic. But this is also, putting the pieces together yourself, learning how to, I don't know. It's a different. It is a different art, and so that's, I think, what we can expect with this. With the flow of this series is exactly this, kind of learning that from the ground up.
Okay, cool. I'm excited.
Okay, cool, good.
Until we get more viewership.
I'm sure there's a way to hide that number. So, like we shouldn't need, like, what does it matter? So, cool.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah. And thank you for taking a shot here at this thing that we were, having second thoughts about. And it seems like we came out the other side, seems fine. Feels regular. But we're hoping to do this again. There may or may not be an in between, really up to Mary here as she's driving, but we're going to try and come back. And I say this with some hesitation because our track record thus far hasn't been great, but maybe this is where we pick it back up. Maybe we take this excitement and energy and we continue. So hopefully you'll see us on Friday again, where we continue this journey of building Whose Breakfast Is It Anyway? By hand. All right.
But by my hand.
by Mary's hand and my yelling. So those are the two things.
The two ingredients.
Two ingredients that come together. All right. We'll see you next time, folks. Good night, and let's go home.